Hey everybody, it's Chase with American Vintage Adventures again, and today I'm coming to you from the home office to bring you the latest Disney and Universal HHN news, all kinds of news drops. We have closings at Disney World hotels, so much to go over. House announcements at HHN are finished, all kinds of stuff. We are going to cover it all right here from the home office, so come with me. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so yes, I mean, there has been a bunch of news, everything from streaming bundle announcements to closings at very popular Disney World Resort hotels to scare zone announcements, house announcements. At Universal Studios, we have so much going on. Harry Potter details. There is stuff everywhere. So we might as well get to it. Like I said, I'm going to try to do these for you guys every now and then to kind of go in with my vlog videos from the parks, because I live in Georgia. I only get to the parks every few weeks. So it's hard to always be there when all this news breaks, but I want to talk about it. And it's stuff I want to talk to you about. So here I am from the home office, and let's get to it with maybe the big... I think I'm going to probably go over like some of the houses I'm looking forward to in here from HHN the most. But I think one of the biggest things that we had drop here was like the sort of surprise, I guess, like, or just kind of dropped and people weren't ready for the closing at Disney's Pop Century Resort. It says, if you go to the site, from July 29th to September 29th of this year, the Everything Pop food court will be undergoing refurbishment, but it will remain open for your convenience. It says during this time, we ask you to mobile order, and for everything, they're wanting you to mobile order, and the seating will be very limited, and they're going to have like a grab and go, from what I understand, set up in the arcade. So food, access to the food and the dining room seating is going to be extremely limited. So you might find like a shrunken down amount of things that you can get, or when you can get them, or how you can get them. So that's going to, that's a very popular resort and a very busy food court. So, I mean, limiting it in any way is going to get very difficult. And that's going to be a full 2 months. So, and hopefully it doesn't go on longer than that, because that's, you've got the Skyliner access there. So that's a lot. So I want to make sure anybody that's going over the next couple of months that you are aware of that. So that's a big thing I've done. You can check my channel. I have done several. I love going to Pop Century. I love that vibe. I have a pop culture channel too, besides American Vintage Adventures, because I just love all things pop culture, especially movies and stuff. So I love going there. It's a Skyliner route, value resort, so wanted to make sure you guys knew all about that. On some other kind of downer news, Disney announced today that they're going to cut some more jobs, and that always really sucks. They're eliminating about another 140 jobs. It says Disney has been struggling again with losses from Disney Plus, and we'll kind of get into that in just a second. But it also says the parks have been underperforming lately. So some people have said the parks seem less crowded and things like that. And the part of the reasons that are being cited, it says experts are citing price hikes and increased competition as reasons for the decline in visitors post-pandemic. So that is an issue that's going to continue. The more it is hard to find consumers. It's hard to replace two consumers with one by doubling or increasing the price. That has a limit, because eventually you're going to exclude people because they just can't afford the price hikes. So like in a basic economics, you are much better off from any business standpoint, if you have 5 clients that pay $20 a piece for a service, that is easier to find and to maintain or replace than trying to find 2 clients that will pay $50 a piece for the service. Because then if you lose one of those clients, you're in a whole bunch of trouble. You have to find a harder client to replace. Whereas if you have a lower price point, you have more clients, the clients come and go, it's easier to replace. Disney is, with the price hikes and stuff, have kind of found themselves in the second position where the price point is so high, if they lose a customer, it's harder to replace that customer. And now a lot of the quote-unquote revenge travel is over with. And the inflation is so high right now for gas, groceries, just living over the past couple years has gotten so expensive with our economy that people just aren't, it's harder to replace those customers. So they are starting to institute some price cuts on some things. And we'll see how that goes. It says that since Iger returned now, he's cut billions of dollars in cost and eliminated 8,000 or more positions, trying to cut $7.5 billion. Now, one thing that has also happened is the streaming, Disney Plus streaming is struggling so much that now, if you guys remember, streaming was meant to be like cord cutting, like, that was going to be for the cord cutters. Well, now Disney Plus, they already merged with Hulu, but Disney overextended themselves by buying Hulu out from Comcast at a point where it was already losing money. They've stemmed the tide a little bit, but they've done it by raising prices. And again, that is a trap that has a ceiling. And so they have now combined with HBO Max. So Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max are combining into one bundle that will be offered at a reduced price with commercials on Comcast cable. So that kind of shows you what position they are in as far as struggling to keep the streaming afloat. That besides mergers, they're agreeing to basically be offered in a bundle with competitor streaming services at a reduced rate and offered through a cable service. Now, cable was supposed to be their primary adversary, their opponent. They were supposed to be direct opposition to cable, and now they're being offered as basically like a premium channel you can add on, but you still got to watch commercials. And they're going to do revenue sharing with HBO Max, and with Comcast. To me, that shows that they're in quite a bit of trouble, and they're trying to stem that tide in any way they can, because now you have to subscribe to cable and have internet just to get that to get their services. So, and then in another effort, they have decided to combine as well with Fox, and I believe it's with Fox TV, and I think it is also HBO. It's Warner Brothers. They have decided to combine and go into the sports arena. So what I mean by that is they're going to offer again a streaming service called Venue Sports for $43 a month to start off, and it's ad supported, where they are going to basically cherry pick some sports, and that is going to be an issue as well. So they're trying to desperately trying to draw in these new subscribers, and to keep subscribers by grabbing a hold of sports and going after the sports fan. But I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. Here's the streaming Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max that I was talking about. These prices start at $17, but if you want non-ads, it's going to run you about $30 per month. And you still have to be a Comcast cable subscriber to have that. So, and you got to have internet. So there's that. And then on top of it here, let me pull this up real quick so I can kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's what I'm talking about. This Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery's new sports streaming service, Venue Sports, is launching this fall, $42.99 a month. That's still going to be ad supported. It will include games from the NFL, the MLB, NHL, WNBA, NASCAR, college sports, golf, and access to ESPN's 30 for 30 library. Which, if you have cable, you have access to that if you have that sports tier. Here is the issue. It's touted to cord cutters, but we also know over here they're going to Comcast to offer their service, so that's kind of backwards on that. Here's the problem. While, like as the article says, while Venue Sports touts a big game, anyone who signs up is actually going to miss a ton of games, because what they have done is they could not afford to license all the rights to the sports. So they're going to cherry pick games that they're paying for to put on these services that would normally have come for free. These would normally have come for free on your local broadcasting, or if you had like cable or satellite already, and you had, like I do, you have like the tier that includes ESPN, ESPN Plus, all those kind of things. That already you would have already got, or SEC Network, you have already gotten all of that without paying enough. Like it was like $9.99 a month to add the sports tier or something like that as like a premium. And if you'd got like the full thing from like Comcast Xfinity, it would have just been included. But I have a lower tier than that. But now it's $43 add-on. And what's going to happen, like for instance, it points out here, in particular, football and basketball fans and analysts revealed will miss a lot of games. For instance, Philadelphia Eagles fans and New York Giants fans, if you subscribe to this and get rid of your cable, you will miss 5 games. They will that will not be available. So they're going to take 5 games, and from those, and unless you subscribe to them, you're going to miss these 5 games. Okay, and if you keep your cable and you don't subscribe to them, you're going to miss the games that they put on there. Does that make sense? So like, you almost have to now have cable and this streaming service to see all the games that you would have just seen before normally. So that kind of stinks, because now you're being forced to pay more for the same thing. So, but it is a last chance. It's like a chance for these streaming companies to try to get some money back and kind of save themselves, because streaming is really struggling right now. And I think this might alienate some people, because they're going to be like, hey, wait a minute, I'm just having to pay for games that I used to get. I don't want to do that. But that is that big news. And at the same time, we have a lot of other fun news going on with Disney right now, as we are getting very close to Mickey's Not So Scary, and I covered that in another video. But the first night of Not So Scary has sold out. Mickey's Not So Scary. So August 9th, today as I'm recording this is August 7th. So we start in 1 week. 1 week. It is spooky season officially now. So if we go in here to purchase tickets, I'm not going to be on this real long because I covered it in my last news video. We're just going to check and see. It looks like the first 5 nights now may be sold out. Let's see if we can check this product. So annual pass, it's sold out. The first 5 nights are sold out for annual pass holders. So the 9th, 13th, 16th, 20th, 23rd. all sold out for pass holders. Let's see if they are sold out for all guests. Yes, they are. So it looks like the first 5 nights are sold out of Mickey's Not So Scary. August 27th and 30th are still available, and then we move on into September. Every night in September is still available, and it still won't let me see October. So your first few nights of this are sold out, but we are here. We have arrived. It is spooky season, and I am super excited. There has been some new merch drops and things like that for Mickey's Not So Scary. You know, last year, if you'll remember, Mickey's Not So Scary, they didn't have event-specific merchandise last year. I was really bummed about that because it was my actual first year going to Mickey's Not So Scary. And they didn't have any merch. This year, they do have merch back, and they're dropping it everywhere right now. All right, so here we've got some interesting button-up shirts, some T-shirts. You can see the back of that. It's like a T-shirt spirit jersey. That's interesting. Finally something that's not long sleeve. I like this button up here. That's super cool. We've got a sweatshirt. They've got the new outfits for Mickey and Minnie this year. You've got some coffee cups, an ornament. Definitely be down to get that ornament for sure. I'm an ornament collector for our Disney tree. There's your other spirit jersey there. So cool. That's some of the stuff that they have dropped so far. Kind of a little first quick look at it there. I am digging that ornament big time. I like the fact that they did like a spirit jersey style thing. That's pretty cool. I just wanted to take a quick look at that. I did more detail on Mickey's Not So Scary in my last news video. But I wanted to take a quick look at that. And then jump over to Halloween Horror Nights. Now, all the houses have been announced, and you've got A Quiet Place, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Insidious The Further, Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. That was the last one to be announced. You've got Monstros, The Monsters of Latin America, Slaughter Cinema 2, The Museum of Deadly Exhibits, Major Sweets Candy Factory, Goblin Feast, and Triplets of Terror. Now, we also have most of the scare zones, but what's interesting about that is they have not confirmed the Blumhouse. Even though they have the Blumhouse big, like, stage set out where a scare zone will be, they have not confirmed that at the time of this recording. And they have not like said what's going to be there. So that's kind of interesting that they still have not done that yet. As they dropped some new merch yesterday. A lot of Little Boo stuff. So Little Boo is back in a big way. You got a cup. I already have a cup like that. That was one thing I picked up so far. So it's kind of one of those things where everybody knows I mean, they got a Blumhouse thing sitting out there, so we can't figure out why they won't just announce all the details of it. But they have not yet. They have the different scare zones. The other scare zones have been announced. And there has been no food really announced yet, which is really weird. Because the Lights On tour begins on August 11th. So they got to have all this stuff in place by then. So if we're going scare zones, you have... So among the 5 scare zones will be Demon Queens, Swamp of the Undead, and Torture Fair. So that is the 4 that has been officially announced. But there is a giant Blumhouse stage where the Dead Man's Pier and stuff was last year, scare zone over by like Fast and Furious. There's a big Blumhouse stage over there, so we fully expect Blumhouse. Demon Queen, so they're kind of leaning hard into the female monster thing with the all-female monster house, and then the Demon Queen scare zone. That's interesting. I would have liked to seen a Ghostbusters scare zone, to be honest with you, to go along with the house. You could have done that through the streets of New York. Super cool. Swamp of the Undead. It's zombies. Torture Fair is going to be in the New York area. I'm very interested about that because I like period piece type stuff, and it sounds like a haunted Renaissance fair. That's super cool to me. I really like that a lot. And I got an interesting email from I did the tribute store that is there right now. I did the VHS cover, and I got a interesting kind of notification about that. And here it is. It says, "Hello. We'd like to thank you for your purchases at participating in our 2024 summer tribute store. We're making decisions on the date to close the store. Our initial plan is to close on September 3rd, 2024. Due to the success of the store, however, we may keep it open longer and possibly to year's end." So it asks us a question. It says, "Please provide the following information. Do you want us to ship your VHS cassette cover and membership cards post September 3rd, or ship your cassette cover and membership cards when the store closes? No definitive date yet." And they also apparently we're going to get a Rewind Guy socks, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that was coming with that purchase. But they wanted us to give our option. I love the store. I would love to see the store continue through HHN and the end of the year, which would also put the HHN tribute store and the Christmas store back in New York, in that big area over there where the tribute store for HHN was last year. That's what I want. So I picked option 2. You guys can keep my VHS in there. I can go in there when I get back and take a picture beside it. and keep that picture. And I love that vibe, man. That is 100% me. So I'm super excited. I hope they keep it open, but it was nice. I wanted to pass that on to you. So anybody that bought a VHS probably got this. And I would think that they probably are hoping there's enough people that say keep it until it ends so that they can keep the store open. So I hopefully, maybe not, but I did my part, said keep it and keep the damn store open. So I'm pretty excited about that. As far as houses, I'm going to do a video where I rank my excitement, which houses I'm looking forward to the most. Obviously, I'm a big Ghostbusters guy. You guys probably can't see it, but I got Ghostbusters stuff over here. I love Ghostbusters. I'm an 80s kid, all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to Torture Fair, Scare Zone. And looking forward to what they do with the Blumhouse thing. And this is just a lot of news dropping, and just kind of wanted to go over some stuff with you all. I have new videos coming out, new vlog videos here on Sunday and going forward. But I'll do these news drop-ins whenever I can, when there's something I want to talk about that I don't want to wait until I'm at the parks. But if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. You can consider joining the channel and joining the Adventures Club down below or on my Patreon. You can find the links. $1 or $2 a month. You get your name on here. Behind the scenes stuff. You can see behind the scenes my bloopers, special live streams when we get enough members, all that kind of stuff. You can see behind the scenes where I actually make movies. You can see some of that kind of stuff too. But you don't have to do any of that to hang around. Just like, subscribe, and join the adventure. Share and spread the word. It really does mean a lot to me, and I thank you so much for watching all my videos. I love it. I love doing this and just sharing my theme park love with everyone. And until next time, this is Chase with American Vintage Adventures saying have a great AVA day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.